Humans, the smart little critters we are, quickly figured out that living out in the open was about as cozy as a cat in a rainstorm. Caves? Worked for a bit, but good luck adding that sunroom or even a simple window. This meant our ancestors had to get to work building, well, buildings. But let's face it, most of those early structures have vanished into the sands of time. It's not just the big bad wolf blowing down houses of straw and sticks. Even brick homes, no matter how smug their pig inhabitants, crumble under the relentless march of millennia. But here's where it gets wild. Some of these ancient digs have stood the test of time like they've got some sort of immortality spell cast on them. We're not just talking about the Great Pyramid, which, let's be honest, is just a giant enduring pile of rocks. No. We're talking about buildings designed for daily human use, that even after 1,000 years or more are still standing, sometimes still serving their original purpose. These are the granddaddies of architecture. Today we are diving into the 11 oldest buildings still in use today. Let's get started. The ancient Romans, folks, were not just champions of war but also wizards of construction. They built stuff to last longer than your average marriage. That's why Europe's dotted with Roman relics. But here's the kicker. There's only one lighthouse from their era still doing its job, and that's the Tower of Hercules in Spain. UNESCO gives it a gold star, calling it the only lighthouse of Greco-Roman antiquity to have kept its structural integrity and functional continuity. Now, the Romans didn't just pick this spot for the view, they had a flair for the dramatic, tying this beacon to the mythic 12 labors of Hercules. Legend has it, after Hercules took down the giant Gerillon with a Hydra blood-tipped arrow, he buried him. Giants being giants, this created a rather large hill, and guess what? The Tower of Hercules sits right on top of this mythical grave. Though we can't pin down the exact birthday of this lighthouse, somewhere around the end of the 1st century AD, we're told, it's had its share of beauty treatments. In the 1700s it got a makeover, becoming both taller and more robust. But let's give credit where it's due. This ancient marvel has been guiding ships for nearly 2,000 years, proving Roman engineering was no flash in the pan, but a beacon of brilliance through the ages. Let's take a trip to New Mexico, where the Acoma Pueblo isn't just old, it's ancient with a capital A. The National Park Service isn't shy about calling it one of the oldest continuously occupied communities in the U.S. We're talking founded around 1100 AD, or as local oral history might put it, a place that always was. The name Acoma in the local dialect literally means a place that always was. Now that's commitment to a hometown. When the Spanish rolled into town in the 1500s, things were chill for a bit thanks to Acoma's "you can't get here from there" location. But oh boy, did that change in the 1600s when the Spanish decided to play conqueror. They built a church, tried to make everyone Catholic, and let's just say they weren't the friendliest neighbors. They wrecked many of the Adobe buildings, but some parts from the 1100s still stand, and the new structures, new in the sense of a few centuries old, are right where the originals once stood. Today, only a handful of folks call this place home, living without electricity or running water, preserving a way of life that's as old as the hills. Acoma remains a vital piece of history for both its people and the nation, a testament to resilience. And here's the twist. The Catholic Church, once a symbol of conquest, is now a place where indigenous and Christian beliefs blend, showing how time can weave together even the most disparate threads into something beautiful and enduring. Stones might stand for centuries, but wood? That's a whole different ballgame. But lo and behold, in China, we have the Nonchan Temple, boasting the oldest wooden hall you'll find in the country. According to China culture, there's an inscription on a beam that screams, "I was built in 782 AD, right in the heart of the Tang dynasty." Now, China Daily throws a little doubt into the mix, saying we can't be 100% sure about that date, but the vibes are definitely Tang. Walk in there, and if you're versed in Tang architecture, it's like stepping into a time machine. This square, symmetrical beauty is the quintessential Tang style. Out of 12 columns, 3 are believed to be from the original construction. And let's talk about the art. There are 17 multicolored statues on the altar, each one a testament to Tang artistry, despite the layers of paint and repairs over the centuries. The largest, depicting Sakyamuni, the Buddha in a cross-legged pose, is so iconic that it's been a national key cultural relic since 1961. This temple hasn't just stood still, it's had its fair share of TLC from the Song, Ming, and Qing dynasties. But the big comeback happened in 1973, when they gave the main hall a facelift, bringing it back to its original splendor. Now that's what you call a building with staying power. Step into the cradle of civilization with us, where India's ancient culture, religion, and architecture meet at the Mundeshwari Temple in Bihar. This temple isn't just old, it's been a place of worship without a pause since around 108 AD, according to the Archaeological Survey of India. Although, some historians might argue it's even older. Originally dedicated to Lord Shiva and Shakti, the temple's central sanctum houses a Shiva Linga, but make no mistake, Devi Mundeshwari is the star here, with other deities also making an appearance. Worship here has been as constant as the flow of the Ganges, making Mundeshwari the oldest functional temple on earth, but time hasn't been kind. Over the centuries it's taken a beating. The Indian government, in its wisdom, has launched a restoration project, cleaning centuries of soot from its walls, fixing up the idols, setting up proper displays for the antiques, and even cataloging the debris of history. They're bringing in the 21st century too, with solar-powered lights. But some scars of time are permanent. The temple's shikara, or tower, is gone, and the original roof is long replaced. The 8 standing walls? They've seen better days, with considerable damage, yet for the thousands of pilgrims who've been coming here for nearly 2 millennia, these imperfections are part of the temple's charm. It's not about the pristine or the perfect. It's about the connection to the divine, the continuity of faith, and the enduring spirit of a people and their culture. Back when Istanbul was Constantinople, the Byzantine Emperor Justinian I decided his city needed not just any church but a colossal one, and he wanted it yesterday. In a miraculous 6 years, the Hagia Sophia was completed in 537 AD, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica. The architects, absolute mad lads whipping up something wholly original with marble columns, dazzling mosaics, and the pièce de résistance, a massive domed ceiling. But the Hagia Sophia has lived through more drama than a soap opera. There was that earthquake in 558, causing the dome to collapse not once but twice, and then the Crusaders in 1204, who, in a bizarre twist of irony, looted this Christian church on their holy warpath to fight Muslims. And it didn't stop at being a church. After the Turkish conquest in 1453, when Constantinople became Istanbul, the Hagia Sophia got a makeover into a mosque, complete with 4 minarets by the 1500s. It served as a mosque for centuries until, in 1935, the Turkish president decided to turn it into a museum, showcasing its incredible mosaics. UNESCO was quick to declare it a World Heritage Site in 1985, and it became Turkey's top tourist magnet. But here comes the plot twist in 2020. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, in a move that caused international outcry, converted it back into a mosque. Visitors are still welcome, but now some of those breathtaking Christian mosaics are veiled, adhering to Islamic practices. The Hagia Sophia, a building that has seen empires rise and fall, religions come and go, and now stands as a testament to the enduring blend of history, art, and faith. In a world where ancient Roman buildings are as common as Italian gelato, the Pantheon stands out like the colossus of architecture. Surviving nearly 1,900 years with the grace of a Roman senator, the Ancient History Encyclopedia dubs it the best preserved of all Roman relics, which is saying something when Rome's littered with history. Constructed around 125 AD, the Pantheon's original purpose is as mysterious as the gods it might have honored. It screams temple, but here's the catch: Roman temples were one-god affairs. There's no record of a all-gods-under-one-roof club. One wild theory? It was a vanity project for the emperor to mingle with the divine, saying, "Check me out, I'm godly too." But maybe the gods weren't thrilled, considering the first 2 pantheons on this very spot went up in smoke, one even thanks to a lightning strike. Classic Roman deity pettiness. But the third time was the charm. This pantheon has stood the test of time, needing only minor touch-ups, like some repairs in 202 AD and a column facelift in the 1600s. Whatever its initial purpose by 608 AD, it got a new gig as the Catholic Church of St. Mary of the Martyrs, and it's still serving the faithful today. From a potential divine meeting room to a sacred Christian space, the Pantheon is a testament to both Roman ingenuity and the adaptability of human reverence. Kirkjaargardur is the family home to end all family homes. Let's journey to the Faroe Islands, nestled between Iceland and Scotland, where the wind howls and the sea is ever present. It's a wonder anyone calls this place home, but they've been doing so for centuries, with one wooden house standing as proof. Kirkjaargardur, what the vintage news labels as one of the oldest still inhabited wooden houses in the world. And how old could a wooden house, vulnerable even to an angry wolf, be? Try over 900 years old, originally a Catholic seminary, this house now anchors the largest farm on these islands. The government has owned it for nearly 500 years, but it's the Patterson family who've been the tenants for 17 generations, passing it down from eldest son to eldest son. Now here's the kicker: there are no forests in the Faroes, and wood is scarcer than a sunny day. Legend says the wood for this house washed up on the shore, all bundled and numbered like a divine IKEA delivery. Not every part of the house is ancient, but even the new sections are centuries old. The oldest bit is the Roikstova, or smoke room, which, funnily enough, doesn't quite fit its current foundation, suggesting it was moved at some point. And get this, the oldest known document from the pharaohs was penned in this house's loft room in 1298. Kirkjaargardur isn't just a house, it's a living history book, a testament to the resilience and resourcefulness of the Faroese people, built from the gifts of the sea and the ingenuity of human hands. The Basilica of Santa Sabina has many surprises. Back in the day, the early Christian church was like a kid learning to walk, trying to figure out not just how to organize but also how to build a church. With so few surviving structures from the first half of the first millennium AD, the Basilica of Santa Sabina in Rome stands out. Atlas Obscura hails it as the best preserved example of Paleo-Christian architecture in the city of the popes, completed before 440 AD. But don't let that description fool you into thinking this place is dull. Oh no, Santa Sabina is chock full of oddities and legends. That grand marble doorframe, those 24 columns inside, they're thought to be recycled from some old pagan temple. Talk about upcycling. And the door within that frame at 1,600 years old boasts one of the earliest depictions of the crucifixion. But wait, there's a twist. When it needed a touch-up in the early 1800s, someone decided to give the villainous pharaoh from the Old Testament a makeover, turning him into Napoleon. And then there's this intriguing dark stone perched on a column. While it's likely just an old Roman weight, local lore spins a different yarn. They call it the lapis diaboli, the devil's stone. Legend has it, this was hurled at St. Dominic while he was deep in prayer here. Whether it was the devil or just a badly aimed rock, it adds another layer of mystery to this ancient sanctuary. The Basilica of Santa Sabina isn't just a place of worship, it's a treasure trove of history, art, and folklore, where every stone tells a story, and every corner whispers of the past. Castel SantAngelo, the chameleon of Rome, has spent the last 1,900 years in an identity crisis. Physically it's rooted in Rome, but what role is it meant to play? These days it's content being a museum, but that's only been its gig since last century. Who knows? It might decide to switch it up again tomorrow. This place has done it all. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, it kicked off in 139 AD as Emperor Hadrian's mausoleum. Yes, the same Hadrian who left his mark on England with that wall. More emperors got buried there, but by the 400s, it was remodeled into a fortress. Its spot was prime for defending one of Rome's key bridges against the relentless waves of barbarians eager to sack the city. Then in 590, amid a devastating plague, Pope Gregory the Great had a vision of the Archangel Michael sheathing his sword atop the building. That's how it got its current name and a new lease on life. With a secret tunnel linking it to the Vatican, it became the Pope's ultimate panic room during the Middle Ages. Like when Pope Clement VII used it to dodge the Holy Roman Emperor's troops in 1527. The popes didn't just hide, they redecorated, making it a bit more luxurious, but comfort was in short supply for those who came after, when it turned into a prison, and then a military barracks. From mausoleum to fortress, from divine refuge to dungeon, Castel SantAngelo has worn many hats over the centuries, each one adding to its rich layered history. Now as a museum, it stands as a testament to Rome's ever-evolving narrative. Byzantine Emperor Justinian loved his grand building projects, and one of his showstoppers was the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem, constructed in the 6th century. Now, according to See the Holy Land, by 160 AD, there was a legend that Jesus was born in a specific cave. No, you didn't mishear in Sunday school. The Bible doesn't explicitly mention a cave, but given the local practice of using caves for animal shelters, it's not that much of a stretch. Emperor Constantine was the first to build a church there in 339 AD, but Justinian came along and said, let's do this bigger. They had to expand the cave because, pilgrims. And to mark the exact spot where Jesus was born, they plopped down a silver manger which, let's be honest, had St. Jerome rolling in his grave over the opulence of it all. The Church of the Nativity nearly bit the dust in 614 when the Persians invaded. But here's where it got lucky. Upon seeing a mosaic of the three wise men in Persian garb, the invaders decided to spare it. However, luck ran out over time. After the Turks looted the lead roof in the 1600s, many of the beautiful interior mosaics were left in shambles. Fast forward to 2013, and the church was in dire need of a major restoration to bring it back from the brink. From silver mangers to Persian mosaics, from near destruction to painstaking restoration, the Church of the Nativity is not just a place of worship, but a living history of survival, faith, and the enduring legacy of one of Christianity's most sacred sites. When we talk about biblical real estate, the birthplace of Jesus is tough to beat, but the monastery of St. Catherine is right up there. Per Aletheia, legend has it that this spot is where Moses had his chat with the burning bush. Built under the watchful eye of Emperor Justinian between 548 and 565 AD, it's nestled at the foot of Mount Sinai in Egypt. Still functioning as a monastery since its inception, which is pretty darn cool, but the real star here is its library. This isn't your average book nook. It's never closed its doors since opening day and boasts the second largest collection of codices and manuscripts in the world. Only the Vatican Library has more bragging rights. Among these priceless texts are some real gems: the Codex Sinaiticus from 345 AD, a 5th century copy of the Gospels, a document on the lives of the holy women from 779, and the Apology of Aristides. A big deal since the originals vanished into history. And let's not forget the Arabic manuscripts, including a decree by none other than the Prophet Muhammad, promising protection for the monastery, tax exemptions, and military service exceptions for the monks under Muslim rule. The monastery of St. Catherine isn't just a spiritual retreat, it's a fortress of history, preserving texts that have shaped religions, cultures, and our understanding of the past. Here, ancient words whisper secrets of faith, peace, and the enduring power of knowledge. And that will do it for today's video on 5 of the oldest buildings still in use today. If you enjoyed our video, please be sure to drop a like and comment which super old building was your favorite. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.